go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The sun came up this morning. It did. Another wonderful Monday in Duval. No place I'd rather be. Veterans Day. A happy one to you and yours, anyone who's ever served in our military. I'd like to salute my two favorite members, my grandpop in heaven, Chicky, as they called him, Howard Cutter, a member of the Navy, and my dad listening in Tampa, a member of the armed forces as well, and the Army. I want to thank them both. Of course, my granddad up above listening, and I wonder if up above you still deal with the trials and tribulations of teams not winning. Now, he's a long-lost New England Patriots fan, but with Drake May winning and the New England Patriots winning and your Jacksonville Jaguars losing, what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you. We're 164 days away from the National Football League draft, and the Jacksonville Jaguars would select first. It is the third time in 5 years that they will do so. Can you imagine? I mean, just think of the gerbil on the in the cage, you know, and what's going through Trent Baalke's mind right now. What am I going to do with Travis Hunter? Can I make him a free safety? Can I possibly make him, I don't know, an offensive weapon? Maybe line him up as a wingback. I mean, that's got to be what he's thinking, because in 164 days, Trent Baalke is still going to be the man in charge of this franchise, of this organization. He will be fresh off a free agency filled in the month of February, and or I should say March, when the league here does begin. And then, of course, the NFL draft in April. So we do welcome you in. It's going to be another really interesting week around these parts. This is the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars alongside J.J. LaSelva. My name is Rick Ballou, and I'd like to begin the program by stating that this is the final week of Doug Pederson as the head coach of your Jacksonville Jaguars. I fully, totally, completely expect an announcement to come out 7 days from now, after this football team gets their ass kicked in Detroit, that he is no longer the football coach. And he's asking to be fired, right? I mean, he's been snotty. He's been acting like a spoiled brat. It's so off color for Doug, and I just find myself really embarrassed for him. But I'm also really surprised here. I like Doug Pederson. I do. I have a lot of admiration for him as a person and as a head coach. I still am absolutely shocked that this thing did not work. Okay, I thought absolutely after Urban Meyer that he would have been the right man for Trevor Lawrence, and he had the right room. You can go back to Jim Bob Cooter, right? And you can bring in Mike McCoy, and you can bring in Press Taylor, and you can bring in Doug Pederson calling plays, and it just never materialized. This offense continues to get worse and worse year after year, and the whole Mac Jones thing really backfired. As I just said at the turn with Frangie and Carline, I talked about this an awful lot over the summer. And I heard this from an impeccable source. This football team really did think, with the way that they are built, that they could win games with Mac Jones. Mac Jones and the offensive game plan yesterday, headed up by Press Taylor and Doug Pederson, was absolutely pathetic. It was gross. 143 total yards. They did not try to get their best football player the ball. 0 targets in the first half for Brian Thomas Jr. Look at Sam Darnold. Look at all the picks that he threw. Look at all the mistakes that he made. What did he do, though? He tried to get the football to Jefferson. He tried to get the football to his best player. Mistakes are going to happen in every game, and there's always an excuse for a mistake. But if you're going to lose a ball game, don't do it by throwing an errant pass to Gabe Davis, right? Where is Brian Thomas? Well, I'll tell you exactly where he was. Kind of that shade route. He was wide open on that play. Parker Washington, wide open on that play. That game-ending interception, and obviously that has come now with a little bit of controversy because of the way that Pederson handled himself during the post-game press conference. This football team, once again, was not prepared to go out and play a game. Offensively, they were not. They did not look well coached. They did not look as though they were ready to take on a top 5 defense in Minnesota. And even though defensively Jacksonville was gouged, it was bend but do not break. They gave up more than 400 yards, but they forced 3 takeaways, and they played good enough football to win this game. The offense, man, what was it? 17 minutes and 41 seconds. The time of possession. Think about that for a moment. Look at these numbers. Minnesota, 42 minutes, 19 seconds. Jacksonville, 17:41. Offensive plays. Minnesota, 82. Jacksonville, 43. That's a difference of 39 more plays. 39 in a one-score football game. The time of possession, by the way, is only worse back in 2012 when the Jaguars held it for 16 minutes and 43 seconds. So welcome in. And this should be the final week of Doug Pederson's tenure as head coach of your Jacksonville Jaguars. With the bye next week, it is the perfect timing. And if a move is not made, it is solely on ownership. It is 100% on Shad Khan. He can't afford not to make this move. All you have to do is look at the stadium yesterday. I mean, it was one thing to see the Green Bay Packers because of their incredible fan base. I didn't know Minnesota traveled like that. I got to be honest with you. I wasn't aware of it. There was purple everywhere in the stadium yesterday. If Rashad Khan's sitting there, I guess money's green. That's all that matters, whether it's purple or it's teal. And I know the NFL spreads their money amongst all 32 owners, but come on. That's embarrassing. Jaguar fans are selling their tickets to Viking fans. Jaguar fans are selling their tickets to who will ever come into town and snatch them up. And when it's 80 degrees here in mid-November, early November, going back against Green Bay, people want to come here. Why wouldn't you want to come here, right? Nice weather, enjoy yourself, go to a football game. You're getting out of places like Wisconsin and Minneapolis and St. Paul. Makes total sense. But good football teams hang on to their seats. Good football teams want to be there. The fans do and want to support the team. I'm not ripping Duval fans. Why would I do that? They've been through it all. In year 30, they have been told to be patient. They have been lied to. They have been, tomfoolery has reared its ugly head. There's really only one way to save what you have with this franchise right now, and that is to make the move in 7 days. You fire Doug Pederson 1 week from today. All right, we have a lot to do here over the next couple of hours. Plenty on this, and as always, we will invite you to get on in at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. I have never been a big fan of throwing bodies outside of a building during the season. I just never have been, because too often you can get fooled, right? You can appoint someone on the interim, and all of a sudden the team plays hard. You win a game, maybe 2, and then the question comes up, oh, well, maybe we should hire from within. That does not apply with this staff, okay? The only guy that would make sense is Mike McCoy. He's the only one right now on the Jaguar staff who formerly was a head coach, you can't appoint Press Taylor, right? You just can't do that. You can't do the same thing with Ryan Nielsen. You just can't do that. So it's Mike McCoy, and after the bye, he will get 6 more games. He's going to get a month and a half of football, dare I say, against very winnable opponents. I mean, even though Jacksonville's 2-8, they go to 2-9 against Detroit. And then after the bye, probably 2-10 against Houston, although let's see how that game plays out. After that, winnable games with Tennessee and the Jets and the Raiders and Indianapolis. I mean, you could win all those games. So you could end up turning around and who knows? Maybe you get to 7-10. Something crazy like that. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it with your money. But again, you don't want to send the wrong message. This staff does not have an heir apparent. They should move on immediately after the fact. I just don't think that you can keep Doug Pederson around with the way that he is acting. Childish comments about the duffel bag with Trevor Lawrence last Friday. I mean, to me, it sounds like he's asking to be fired. It's guaranteed money, right? Why not get away now? Go to an island, sip on some of those cocktails that have umbrellas in the drink and grab some sun and play some golf and spend some time with your family. I get it. This thing is backfired. It's a total joke. He's not acting like a man who is trying to save his job. He's starting to make comments that frankly are ridiculous. Now, the Brent Martineau deal yesterday, that was disappointing. I'm really surprised in the enormous amount of ink or the enormous amount of travel it has really gotten. And I've had a lot of people say to me, total disrespect to you and to Brent and to the others who asked the questions. I'm okay with it. I think it reflects poorly on Doug Pederson for not answering the question. But are my feelings hurt by it? No. Am I aware of anyone around me whose feelings are hurt by it, who was in the room yesterday during the press conference? No. Again, it's childish by a former Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I've had so many of he insulted the intelligence of members of the media who are trying to do their job. I'm just kind of like, who cares? You know what? He's upset. This team loses consistently. They find ways to lose. I'm not necessarily bothered by that. However, it is another example of him asking to be fired. Don't act like this is the Philadelphia media. Don't act like this is the East Coast media. These are fair questions by people who spend plenty of time, their time, professionally covering this team. I don't know any one of them as a man, okay? And I'm trying to think of, as a woman, if there are any women actually at the press conference yesterday. I'm trying to think of some names, and it feels like most were in the locker room getting interviews there, who want to see this team fail. There aren't placed contrarians in Jacksonville. Just because I say Doug Pederson needs to be fired doesn't mean I want to wish ill on the Jaguars. Just because I've been saying for years that Trent Baalke should be fired doesn't mean I'm trying to wish ill on the Jaguars. I'm actually studying the game, talking to people who it is that I speak with, and trying to figure out, how does this team get better? What moves do you have to make for this team to be more than competitive, and then going to the drawing board once again and saying, oh, well, now it's the 4th time. Oh, wait, it's the 5th time. Oh, wait, it's the 6th time that we've lost by 5 points or less. Tired of it. It's the same old. Every single week. It's almost as if it's a built-in excuse. This team was put together to win now. Win this year. Not in 2025, not in 2026, not in 2027. It was built to win this year, and it has not. And frankly, it's been crooked. There's been awful in-game coaching. There's been very spotty personnel decisions. There has been hands up in the air. What is going on around here when you try to explain personnel in the positions that they are playing, the offensive scheme, the defensive scheme? I mean, how can you have a player of the pedigree of Brian Thomas Jr. and he doesn't get one target in the first half? You can't run a screen. You can't run a counter and have him come around on a reverse and grab the football. You can't diagram the old 39 periwinkle and find a way to get your best player. That's coaching. That's 100% coaching. And when I was in Philadelphia, when Doug Pederson talked about clouded coverage, he was asked about clouded coverage again yesterday, and he gave us that spoiled, upper-class, schmirky kind of response. That's not what this city wants. This city doesn't want their coach to act like I'm the smartest man in the room. Okay? Of course you know more football than us who cover the game. But this was a simple question. A simple explanation should have been given. Not, I'm not going to explain it to you guys because you wouldn't even be able to figure it out. And again, that doesn't even really bother me that much. I tell you what bothers me far more than that. Why Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't targeted. Okay, if you're going to throw an interception, throw it to your best football player. And then you just tip your cap. You say, hey, you know what? Brian Flores has a top 5 defense. Brian Flores, they made some adjustments. This team, I asked Mac Jones about it. How do you explain second drive? A 9-play, 70-yard drive. 4 passes, 5 rushing attempts. You score. You put up 70 yards on one drive. That is half of your offensive input through a 4-quarter football game. You ended up with 143 yards. How can you do that and then have zero success the rest of the way through? And Mac Jones, when reminded me, well, that's a top 5 defense. Mac was a little surly. I'm sure he's bent. I'm sure he's hurt. This is his hometown. He's been dreaming of this opportunity. He didn't play well. There's no other way to say it. I mean, for those of you who think that Mac can compete, Mac is better than Trevor Lawrence, do yourself a favor. Keep your mouth shut, okay? Because you don't know football. If you're going to sit around and talk about the fact that Mac Jones is on the equal of Trevor Lawrence. And even when I asked Doug Pederson about that, he didn't understand the question because he's already kind of checked out. Instead, he took my question and was like shocked. We're not shocked that we scored. That's not what, that's what we're supposed to do. My question was shocked that you scored early and then you weren't able to do anything the rest of the game. But again, when you're checked out, you listen to what you want to listen to. You're going to react the way that you do want to react. Let's end it right here. It's over. It failed. The Doug Pederson thing didn't work. They came from behind in 2022, and it was a legitimate miracle. The way that this football team came from behind and won games and lost in all of that was just how incredibly healthy that football team was in 2022, including coming from behind to win that playoff game. 27, down 27. Last year, at 8-3 start, they fell apart. They've done the same thing this year. I mean, Doug Pederson is 3-13 in his last 16 games. Think about that for a moment. 3-13. Your general manager, Trent Baalke, has told your owner, Shad Khan, that this is the best team the Jaguars have ever put together. They are the worst team in the NFL based on record today. They will select first in the NFL draft if the season ended today. It's time for a change. It's time for massive changes. If anything short of Doug Pederson not being fired a week from today doesn't happen, I don't know what else to tell you. I understand there will be 6 games remaining after the bye. It has to happen now. You need a new voice. You need a new direction. And again, there's a large part of me that feels bad about this. I really do like Doug Pederson. But it's crystal clear, in my opinion, from someone who covers this team, who observes him, who watches his facial expressions, studies his body language. I had gone off earlier in his career about some things that he said that I found were brilliant, okay? Especially when they were losing early in 2022. Brilliant. That's gone 180. He doesn't get along with Trent Baalke. He doesn't get along with Trevor Lawrence. He's got to go. No one wants him there anymore. He's got to go. It's as simple as that. All right, we got plenty to do over the next couple of hours, and as always, we're going to invite your opinion. It's always warranted here on Into the Night. The best way to get on in is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. I will tell you that opening comments tonight and every night are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. All right, been big fans of the Shmunez family for quite some time. Cataract surgery is petrifying. I mean, you just hear it, and it's like hit the delay button, right? You know, it's like, oh, I'll get to it. Yeah, I got to see an eye doctor. I'll get to it. You're always pushing it back. Why? Why would you do that? It's amazing to me that folks continuously are in that category. But when you hear about cataract surgery, it's usually someone in the office, right? Oh, my husband had it, and he's had a bad reaction. Well, it's understandable. I understand why you are scared about this. But when it comes to Shmunez Vision, here's something they have going for them that others do not. Number one, when you talk with Dr. Neo Shmunez or Dr. Catherine Shmunez, they are the individuals who will be performing the surgery. You're not going to be appointed a surgery counselor where he or she is going to explain to you what goes into the surgery, yet they're not even the individual who is going to perform it. Can you imagine that? And it happens quite a few places. It's just another reason why Shmunez Vision separates themselves from others. I want you to check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. I also get all the testimonials as well on Instagram from Shmunez Vision. And again, the very best around. If that is something that you need, and hopefully it's not the case, make sure you check them out. Hey, it could be a simple remedy for you. Maybe you don't need surgery. But my advice, go to the best. Go to Shmunez Vision. All right, let me come back. Let's bring in J.J. LaSelva. Pederson out on Monday, a week from today. That's my thought. Give me yours. And this is a year where this season could not end fast enough. Man, you still got 7 more games. I mean, this is nuts. And you look at the schedule, they're very winnable games. And I watched the 2 opponents who they'll face the next 2 weeks, I guess 3 weeks if you consider the bye. And Houston looked unstoppable early, and then you saw what happened with Detroit late. After those 2 teams, all of these games, you can make the case that Jacksonville is better than. But when you add to it production and the lack of coaching, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's just not going to work. Nonetheless, tell us what you believe. Best way to get in, 641-1010. That is the text line. Again, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Great day for America, isn't it?
Americans love America.
Oh, America.
1010XL.
America.
American made right here in Jacksonville.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, save 20% on your entire project. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Ride the hurricane wave as the storm brews in South Beach.
Keeping you closer to the U with news and notes from the Orange and Green on the Hurricane Report on 1010XL.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time homebuyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time homebuyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time homebuyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time homebuyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time homebuyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time homebuyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. That's 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at TrustlineMortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
What was George Washington's salary when he was president?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
George Washington's annual salary as president was $25,000, about $4.5 million in today's dollars.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you today about having a grateful spirit. As we journey in life, it's so easy to take things for granted. But I want to encourage you to never get tired of thanking God for your blessings. Take time also to thank the people in your life who have and are helping you to become the person you are today. Don't go through life complaining. Go through life praising.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
So, Ammon, when was the last time that you cleaned your air ducts?
Dad, I manage the air duct cleaning at Zero Res. Trust me, my ducts are cleaner than the plates after Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, I hope so, but it's not just you I'm thinking of. Everyone in Jacksonville should get their air ducts cleaned before the holidays.
You're right. Even though we don't blast the heat like up north, we still trap dust and allergens when the windows stay shut. All that gunk just recirculates through your home and makes your air quality worse.
So you're saying Zero Res air duct cleaning keeps my air fresh and ready for my holiday guests?
Exactly. Clean ducts means cleaner air, just in time for Thanksgiving. Plus, we've got a November special running right now. Call Zero Res today and we'll give you $50 off. No more dust, just fresh, clean air for you and your family this holiday season.
Sounds good, son. Now, how about that family discount?
We'll see, Dad.
Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com or call now. Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yeah, turn it up. Forget about the Jaguars. It's about rock and roll. Who's this?
This is Pantera.
Oh, I love it. Dimebag Daryl.
Rest in peace.
No doubt. Give me some of that. That's what I need. Music never disappoints. I mean, you can play sappy stuff like Air Supply. You can just rock the house like Pantera. You don't have to worry about them
ruining your weekend.
Diagramming an awful play on 3rd and 1. Not getting Brian Thomas Jr. involved. How do you not get the football to your best player? I mean, if you're going to lose, go out. I mean, that's like Rob Deere watching 3 straight fastballs and walking back to the dugout. At least go up there like Reggie Jackson and swing for the downs if you're going to win or lose.
You just wouldn't understand, man. You're just, Norvell told you years ago.
So you don't really understand what it's all about.
And now yesterday we had Doug Pederson.
Yeah, I'm not going to go through the details of the play because you guys wouldn't figure it out. But we'll look at the tape tomorrow.
And then this last one was you. I hear you in the background.
Shocked that we were able to score.
Just move the ball. With the type of success you did during that 9-point drive.
I wasn't shocked early in the game.
Such a jerk.
He didn't understand my question.
Right. You asked, were you shocked that you were able to do that right away? And then all of a sudden.
No. See, I was like, you had success right away. Were you shocked you weren't able to do it the rest of the game?
Exactly.
Let's play that again. Maybe I asked it wrong.
Well, I don't have the question, unfortunately.
Shocked that we were able to score.
Just move the ball. With the type of success you did during that 9-point drive.
I wasn't shocked early in the game. I mean, that's what we expected to do. As the game progressed, it just got seemingly worse, right? First down, run the ball. We got behind the chains. 2nd long. It got harder offensively. And that was the frustrating part, I think, just not staying positive on first down. Because you go back to that drive, that's what we did. We were able to stay on the field and stay positive.
I guess he sort of answered it, but yes, it is written down. Were you shocked by how easily you scored and then would struggle afterwards?
All right, forget about that. Play some more Pantera. Will you, for crying out loud? Give the people what they want here in Duval. For crying out loud.
I got to go back to it.
All right, tonight's show is brought to you by the good folks over at Miller Electric Company. That's never going away. Why? No matter where you go in the city, we're building. People want to live here. People want to move here. And I understand their train of thought. They're like, one day it's going to happen. There's going to be a good football team in this city. Miller Electric. They've been around for 96 years. No matter where you go, you see Miller Electric. If you want to be a part of this fantastic company, and they were recognized, again, one of the top companies in Jacksonville. Just got the email a couple of days ago. They are hiring. They believe in rewarding hard work, best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture. All right, just go to millercareers.com, Miller Careers, and get everything from the good folks at Miller Electric. This one hurts a little bit. I don't know why. I guess it's because I was so wrong. And I don't mind being wrong, but I hate it for the listeners. I hate it for the fans. I hate it when I look out and I see half the seats filled with purple and not with Jaguar fans. I really tried to temper my enthusiasm this year during training camp. I've always been, believe it or not, a far more glass half full than I have half empty when it comes to observing training camp and how they look. And I've made that mistake many, many times in the years dating back to 1996. I think it's common because you're watching professionals practice, and they are supposed to be good at their craft. But I'm really surprised by this. I thought it was a 10-7. I thought it was a 9-8. I thought it was a wild card. I thought they would clearly be behind Houston, but they still would be making a run at a playoff during the 2024 season, and it has absolutely gotten away from them. And I don't even know where to turn. And the most frightening part of all of this is we don't even know where to go, because you have to eliminate logic, right? That has to be taken off the table. It makes so much sense to fire them all. Everyone knows it. I mean, I ask, and JJ, you can attest to this. We get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds a night on our text line, and I try to answer to about all of you. But I can't get one person who will defend Trent Baalke every time that I ask.
Oh, my God, no.
And
They'll go overboard to not.
Right, and I'm fair about it. If you mention it and you send it, I'll read it. I'm as fair as I... It is so obvious, yet I'm still convinced he's going to be the leader of this organization in 2025. He's got the one... You know what it's like in life when, like, all of a sudden, like, you know, you're hanging at a bar or you're doing whatever it is that you do, and all of a sudden you see this just really hot babe. And you look at the guy that she's with, and you're like, oh, my God. How did he get her? To a man, everyone's like, what does this guy got? I don't care how much money he's got. I don't care what else he's got. How does he have a girl like that? He's the only one who knows. All I have to do is impress her. I don't have to impress you. I don't have to impress anyone else. That's the same thing with Trent Baalke. He is on an island. There isn't one other person who supports him. But all he has to do is impress Shad Khan. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what my colleagues say. It doesn't even matter what you say by not showing up to the game, by you selling your seats to Packer fans and Vikings fans. That doesn't even speak volumes to Shad Khan. He doesn't speak to us. He did a couple of interviews, in London. Okay, not here. In Duval.
He also refused to take any questions about the football team.
Right,
It
in
was
London.
only about the stadium.
I think he did one with Demetrius, and he might have done a television interview. And listen, my problem's not with Shad, at least yet. It'll start to become my problem a week from today if Doug Pederson is still the head coach, because it's so obvious that he's checked out. And it's so obvious that he's asking to be fired. Gus Bradley wasn't asking to be fired. Doug Marrone wasn't asking to be fired. They took on the questions. And again, this is not a brutal media that has the knives out and the hatchets out looking for blood. It's a very fair media in town. And it's a one-horse town where losing's bad for business. Losing week after week after week after week does no one any favors. I know historically speaking in the world of sports talk radio, the worst thing you could be is an average team. You either want to be really, really good or really, really bad. Well, this city's had enough of the really, really bad. Okay? It makes everyone's job more difficult. I get with the Miller Lite guys, champion brands. All right, they tell me when the Jaguars lose, beer sales are way down. You trying to tell me there aren't people that are just starving for a win? So their restaurant, their bar, no matter what it may be, there's happy times. We're heading towards the holidays. Let's get this economy booming a little bit. If this team comes out week after week after week and they suck, it's bad for business. It's bad for every business in town. Keeping Trent Baalke on as your general manager is bad for business. Keeping Doug Pederson on as your head coach is bad for business. Fix it. You have no choice. Fix it. It begins a week from today with Pederson. And then if you're telling us you need to do your due diligence on Trent Baalke, I'll tell you right now, fire him. Okay? It's toxic. It is. Even behind the scenes, even moles, even people not one person that I know supports it. It's got to go. You got to start all over again. You have to. And this thing is so lengthy, man. There's so much time left. You have 7 more games in a bye. You have 8 weeks. You have 2 more months of this. It's not ending in a couple of weeks like Florida State. Okay? I mean, this thing is going to keep on keeping on. And for the first time in my life, I'm actually finding myself saying, no, I hope they don't beat Tennessee. No, I hope they don't beat the lifeless New York Jets. No, I don't want them to beat the Raiders. No, because the last thing I want is a glimmer of hope. The last thing I want is the right things to be said, and all of a sudden it's, well, maybe we should hang on to this for one more year. Okay, we're going to replace our coach. And Trent Baalke's got his short list on who he thinks the new head coach should be. You're guaranteed to have yourself a top 5 pick. You may have the number 1 pick. Do you want that? I mean, you at the point now where if you lose to Detroit, you're 2-9. You lose to Houston, you're 2-10. And you got 5 games remaining, and then all of a sudden you want to, of course you want to beat Tennessee. It's a rival. I got you. But do you want to beat Tennessee home and away and beat Indianapolis and beat the Jets if that keeps your general manager running this organization? I mean, ask yourself that question. I honestly think the only way that Trent Baalke does not survive this is if this team ends up going 3-14 or 4-13. I don't think by winning these games at the end of the year and then all of a sudden you look up and it's a 7-10 is enough. I think it's enough for Pederson. I don't think it's enough for the general manager. I mean, I just don't. All right, let's get to you on this. 641-1010, always the best way to look at all of these coming in. It's just amazing.
A lot of sad and angry people out
there. There really are, and I'm here for you. I'm trying to do the best job that I can to explain to you what I would do. But Shad Khan listens to, as far as I am concerned, 2 people. Trent Baalke and Tony Khan. Obviously, he listens to Mark Lamping when it comes to football business-related issues. I'm talking about on the field. He listens to 2 people. And I don't know how else to say it. It really is. I mean, you passed the stadium deal. This should be joyous. You sign your quarterback. You should be so excited about the future. And it all starts at the top. Everything starts business-wise at the top. Shad Khan can fix this. I know what type of fans you are. If Shad Khan hires the right coach, hires the right general manager first, hires the right coach, and this team turns it around and is a playoff team next year, in 2 years, Shad Khan goes to midfield to, I don't know, put Maurice Jones-Drew. Notice he was absent with the Coughlin one because, well, he fired Coughlin. He had to. Coughlin was cheating. But let's say it's Maurice Jones-Drew. You give this guy a standing O. As bad as you are, as down as you are now, I understand fans. You'll give him a standing O when Maurice Jones-Drew goes in if this team is winning and going to the playoffs. Nothing lasts forever as far as fans are concerned. Winning solves everything. So Shad Khan's got an opportunity to get himself out of this. The first thing he has to do is fire Doug Pederson 1 week from today.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Movember is Men's Health Awareness Month, so take charge of your health and vitality at Ackerman Urology in Mandarin, Middleburg, The Beaches, and World Golf Village. For prostate and urological needs, trust Ackerman Urology. AckermanUrology.com.
Frank Frangie here. This November, Nimnik Buick GMC is honoring the brave men and women who have served our country. Nimnik is proud to announce their partnership with K9s for Warriors. With every vehicle purchase, you're helping provide highly trained service dogs for military veterans and supporting the K9s for Warriors mission. This month, Nimnik Buick GMC is offering a $500 military appreciation discount on select new Buick and GMC models. So who makes your purchase go further for veterans? Nobody but Nimnik. Shop 24/7 at NimnikBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Post-Game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Cigar smokers, Cigars International Superstore is now open at the Town Center, a massive 6,200 square foot space with over 600 cigar brands, a full-service bar, indoor and outdoor lounges with flat-screen TVs. Grand opening event this Saturday with live music, raffles, and specials. Enjoy $5 off a $25 purchase or more. Just mention code RadioXL at checkout. Don't miss the new Cigars International Superstore grand opening at the Town Center this Saturday.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 11, 1987, MLB pitching legend Boston Red Sox starter Roger Clemens wins back-to-back American League Cy Young Awards.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida. It's Gwendolyn Beers.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime Man Cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Improvement on the defense has been showing over the last handful of weeks for a team that greatly struggled to force takeaways so far this season. Here's linebacker Foye Oluwakan talking about the positives of the defense creating turnovers and what they have to do better.
They come in bunches for sure. Definitely felt good to get in the turnover column, but we had to get another one. Like, we didn't win that game, so go back, see where we could have got done even better out there, and I'm happy we got turnovers for sure. So keep doing that, but let's find out where we could have got even another one.
You guys did The Jaguars picked off Sam Darnold 3 times on Sunday, which is the most interceptions he's thrown in a game this season. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Want to mix in some college football next hour. At least I plan on it, but I don't know. Going crazy right now here with the Jags, but after this weekend, Georgia going down to Mississippi. Congratulations, JJ. You nailed it.
I did, but I was hurting on Saturday, of course, because of the Canes. But yes, I just think Carson Beck's terrible. I'm not picking him to win any games. I saw the point spread this week against Tennessee, and I think they're like a 9 or 10, something like that, point favorite. I'm shocked. I don't know if I'm going to take Tennessee to win, but I like him to cover, especially if, well, their quarterback has to be right, but apparently he's going to play after like a concussion or something. You know, they're very weird about injuries in college. He had an upper body injury, but apparently he's good to go.
The U loss won't hurt you at all. All I got to do is win the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship game. And you're in. Georgia Tech, those nasty.
Dude, Georgia Tech has handled Miami for a long time. They had a great game plan of just running the ball, taking every single second out of the clock, like starting from the first quarter. And, you know, Miami's defense is ratchet. So they gave up like 300 yards on the ground to a quarterback who couldn't. Haynes King's throwing shoulder was so hurt he couldn't even pass. They had to bring like some freshman in for passing downs, and they still handled Miami's defense. Like, Cam Ward was not his best, and if he was, they would have probably won by a couple of scores. But that's the thing with this Miami team. If Cam Ward isn't just being amazing, they're not going to win. So I see a lot of people like, oh, book Miami. You just said it for the ACC title or whatever. Listen, Syracuse is in 3 weeks, and they put up a lot of freaking points, man. I think I'm going to pick them to beat Miami. I don't think Miami's going to make it to the ACC title. I think they'll finish the season 10-2, which is fine, but just knowing what they could have been, you know, with these last 4 games, it will suck if they end up losing to Syracuse.
Florida slaughtered by Texas and Florida State. What an absolute disgrace in South Bend. They have fired Alex Atkins. They fired Adam Fuller. They did fire Ronald Dugans. Ronald Dugans was such a great player at Florida State, such a tough guy, such a blue-collar wide receiver. he just couldn't develop anyone. These moves have had to have been made, and hopefully there's many more coming. In time permitting, we will dive into this in our second hour. If not, maybe we'll wait until Tuesday night's program, because right now the Jaguars are all the rage. It includes the 0984 who says, with all due respect, we heard nearly everyone, but nearly all come on the air and tell us that Doug was the right coach. There's no question about it. Okay? Well, I understand in my business, I've never really understood it, but there is such a feeling of many hosts and analysts that they can't say they were wrong. It's almost as if you are going to feel less about them if you are wrong, okay? I have absolutely no problem telling you I thought Doug Pederson was the answer, okay? If you think less of me because of that, fine. Fine. I absolutely thought that it was going to work in this town and in this city with a Super Bowl winning coach. We find out years later he's making the same mistake for a second time with his loyalty to Press Taylor. I mean, a week ago Friday, I asked Sal Palantonio about this. Sal got all upset with me. All right, Sal is friends with Doug Pederson and said right on the radio, I refuse. He's like, what are you trying to get me to do? I'm not going to say anything bad about Doug Pederson. I'm like, I'm not trying to get you to say anything bad about Doug Pederson, Sal. I'm asking you about his loyalty to Press Taylor is one of the major reasons why he's going to lose his job for a second time. The exact same reason. I mean, the fact that he has not called plays himself is so beyond Bush. It's shocking. It's malpractice. How can he not be calling plays himself? It doesn't work with Press Taylor. We've been talking about it since week 1, week 2. Talked about it all last year. Why is it taking this long? That's what people want answers to. But to the 0984, I have no problem with being identified as a guy who thought that it would work here with Doug Pederson. And again, here I am supporting the media and colleagues in our first hour about the situation that happened yesterday. Again, it didn't bother me as much as it bothered others. But I think you got a real loyal media base here that's incredibly fair. But saying I was wrong is tough for a lot of people. I don't know. I think being honest and showing people that you're vulnerable and that you make mistakes just like everyone makes mistakes is part of the gig. That's the way I've always been.
Do you think he's done after this?
For good?
Yeah. As a head coach.
I don't think you'll get another opportunity. You can't make the same mistake twice and then get a third opportunity. There have been coaches who have gotten third opportunities, but he has failed twice now with young quarterbacks. He failed with Carson Wentz, and he failed with Trevor Lawrence. Are you going to hire Doug Pederson if you know you're working with Aaron Rodgers, if you know you're working with Kirk Cousins, if you know you're working with Matt Stafford? I don't know.
And he also has a history now of not getting along with the front office in two places.
Right.
Like, that's not something that GMs are going to jump to hire. But I could see him as an OC somewhere in a couple of years. But, yeah, I tend to agree with you on that.
I think that there's a real deal that Pederson and Balky don't find work anywhere.
Balky, I would be shocked and appalled if he left here and got hired by another team as a general manager.
I don't think he's going to find employment anywhere.
Madness.
Yeah. And again, I'm not wishful of that. I'm not. And these guys have made retirement cash. Okay, they've made big time money. If I lose my job tomorrow, I got to go find somewhere else to work.
Right.
If Trent Baalke loses his job tomorrow, all he had to do was have a financial advisor that put it in the simplest of funds, and he's set for the rest of his life. There is a difference, but still, I don't want to see anyone lose their gig. I don't know anyone who's going to hire Trent Baalke unless it's for basically an advanced scout. Is someone going to hire him as a pro personnel director? Is someone going to hire him in charge of college football scouting? Doug Pederson's a very likable guy. I like him personally. That's why I'm really surprised by this. Does he get a job as a quarterbacks coach somewhere? Does he get a job as an offensive coordinator? Look at the former coaches around here. Gus Bradley, well-traveled defensive coordinator.
Jack Del Rio.
Doug Marrone went to New Orleans for a couple of years and ran the offensive line position there. He's with Bill O'Brien now at Boston College as an offensive analyst, I think senior offensive analyst for BC. Jack Del Rio, well, he's in a bar.
Yeah, well.
Jack resigned today.
Yeah,
well, that's a frightening
he was
story.
At Wisconsin, yeah, but he had a DUI. He hit a stop sign or something.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Doug Marrone he doesn't have a gig, I don't think, right now.
See, when Jack Del Rio was here, he often acted like the smartest man in the room. There were times when you would ask Jack a question, and he would give you a look like you're out of your depth. Right? Do you really understand what you're asking me here? And, I go way back with Jack Del Rio. I remember in Tallahassee when I got started, the Brad Culpepper golf tournament in Tallahassee, Jack Del Rio was selling insurance out of New Orleans. And then he became I think it was a Carolina linebacker coach. Is he the Carolina or Baltimore? Linebacker coach, defensive coordinator. Then all of a sudden, before you know it, he became a head coach. I always really liked Jack Del Rio. Still do. But there were times Jack, privately or at the podium, always act like he was the smartest man in the room. That's what you're starting to get now with Doug Pederson. It's a snarky, and I hate it. I do. When it comes down that Doug Pederson has been fired, I'm not going to be all smiles here. Eventually I will, because I know it's the right thing for this franchise. And hopefully it's only the beginning of several moves that are made. But I'm not happy about it in the now, because I do. I like him. And it's not like we're pals, right? It's not like Doug Pederson and I go out and play golf together. It's nothing like that. I just respect him. I mean, look what Doug Pederson did. He looked at Jacksonville's worst moment. The 2017 or January of 2018 AFC Championship game playoff loss, where this organization had a chance to cut off the head of the snake in Foxborough. And I was a sideline reporter. They let John Bon Jovi get up in Robert Kraft's booth and sing Living on a Prayer. And Jacksonville put together one of the most gutless fourth quarter performances ever seen by this franchise. Predictable play calling by Nate Hackett and Doug Marrone, where they tried to sit on a lead on the road against the best coach and best football player to ever play the game. Gutless. And I watched it. And what did Doug Pederson do? He watched that film. And 2 weeks later, he runs the Philly. Doug Pederson and Nick Foles tried to win that Super Bowl. And what was the final score? Like 41-34? Something crazy like? They tried to win it. They went for it on fourth down. They did everything in their arsenal to try to win it. 2 weeks prior to that, Jacksonville tried to sit on a lead. So, yeah, when Doug Pederson was appointed the head coach here, and I remember just how they screwed it all up by bringing him in and Jim Caldwell in and let 5 weeks go by until they decided on him, I was yelling, hire him, hire him, hire him. Super Bowl winning coach. How many of them are out there? I was wrong. I was totally wrong. And yeah, there's a little bit of disappointment that I was wrong. Found myself liking him an awful lot, but it hasn't worked. It's broken now. He's got to go. I mean, there's no way around it. Second hour's coming up.
He'll cross the line into the danger zone so you can be informed from the safety of home.
Out here, it's military law, and I'm in charge of enforcing it.
His car line takes you behind enemy lines. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, save 20% on your entire project. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you an experienced plumber or welder with MedGas certification and you're tired of being undervalued? It's time to make the move to local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. With the best pay in the business, you'll earn $36.50 an hour. With benefits, that's almost $50. It's not just a job, it's a career that values you. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. If you're going to buy an engagement ring, how much should you spend?
Frank, that's a question we hear a lot, and the guideline most often used is the equivalent of 2 months' salary. But I'll say this, the price you pay for a diamond is directly related to its beauty. If you want a big, cheap diamond, I'll guarantee you it's poor quality, and that's not what we carry at Underwoods. If you want a diamond of fine quality, cut to the right specifications for maximum beauty, not maximum weight, that's the kind of diamond we have at Underwoods. You see, when somebody's been married for a long time, they don't always remember what they paid for their engagement ring. They probably remember the sacrifice they made to pay for it. And when you consider that a diamond engagement ring will be worn every day for the rest of her life, most people will agree that a really fine quality diamond ought to be considered. That's what we specialize in at Underwoods and have since 1928.
That's Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Are the company's Zoom calls getting boring? Might be a good time to order some new logo caps or temporary tattoos. Check them out online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
First and 10, the handoff to Fournette. Stoned at the line of scrimmage. Stoned in general. Second and 10, Bortles back to pass, incomplete. Third and 10, Bortles incomplete. Punt. That's a 3-play, 1-yard, 37-second drive. Let's kick it back to New England. God, man, the Miles Jack wasn't down. It's amazing what you remember and what you forget. The whole world blames Bill Buckner for the error. They forget about all the other mistakes. 3rd and 18, Amendola. Just go back and watch the game. Everything's on YouTube nowadays. Just, you had a chance. Life would be easier. Trust me, as a Red Sox fan, life is easier when you win. If you had won that Super Bowl, if you had gotten to the Super Bowl and won that, life would be easier. This would be, you'd still be bent. You always want to win. But when you taste victory, the Gators are suffering right now. They've tasted victory. The Seminoles, they've never been lower. They've tasted victory. It is different. And Nate Hackett and Doug Marrone, that gutless game plan should never leave your memory bank. You can always go to Miles Jack, wasn't that fine? But just go back and watch what they did with those possessions in the fourth quarter. And Doug Pederson saw it, and he attacked New England 2 weeks later. All right.
Imagine like the future of Doug Marrone and Blake Bortles and how different it would have been if they would have somehow won that Super Bowl. Now, neither one are even in the league.
Neither one are in the league. They signed Blake to that long-term deal, but just look at all of the connections there. Nick Foles, and I'm trying to remember we were on the road after Jacksonville got blown out. And Nick Foles said to this fan base, he tried to talk to them about overcoming trials and tribulations. And to this day, I thought it was one of the most ignorant statements that a very wealthy quarterback has ever said, because he was under the impression, obviously, from going back and watching the 2018 AFC Championship game in preparation for the Super Bowl, that Jacksonville was a yearly playoff team, because he didn't do the simple homework assignment of just looking back at previous records, what they did year after year after, because he wouldn't have spoken about this if he had any idea really what this fan base had gone through. But he didn't. And it's just another link to all of this. I'm sure Doug Pederson And I never read his book. Did you ever read Pederson's book?
I
never
didn't,
did.
but that's where he took a shot at Doug Marrone,
right.
if you remember that. So he
deserves to take a shot at him.
He wrote the book after he won the Super Bowl, obviously. And in it, he took a shot at Doug Marrone and the Jags coaching staff for being so wussy against the Pats with the lead.
It's incredible. And I hate to do this to listeners, but you didn't try to win that AFC Championship game. You tried to sit on a lead. And Pederson's done that. He tried to sit on a lead against Houston this year. I mean, there's been times this year where they've done the exact same thing. They did not try to win games. Pederson tried to win that Super Bowl, and I thought that was the coach you were getting. And when they started coming from behind and winning all those games in 2022, I was like, wow. That was pretty incredible. But it's gone flat ever since. All right. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we're going to take calls. Tire hour. That'll be tomorrow. A lot of people ask. They want to get in. I think nowadays you take a little bit less calls or a lot less calls and rely on the text line. But I do want to let you know that we're going to do that tomorrow night from 7 to 8. 7169 says, Blue, why do you think Pederson and Trevor don't get along? And who was at fault? They would be great together, but it does worry a little bit. Trevor, because he's still here. Will a new coach get along with him? I have no idea. Trevor never said a word about Urban. He took the high road.
He was also a rookie.
He was a rookie, and we've seen Trevor grow by leaps and bounds as far as his leadership ever since then. My guess to this answer is Trevor wants Pederson calling plays. There's not enough going into this offense, and he's down on Press Taylor. These guys are around each other all the time. And losing is so frustrating that you start to really dislike one another. It happens all the time in sports, not only in Jacksonville. It happens in college and pro and in every sport. Can you imagine what it's like in baseball when you play 162 games together if you are a losing baseball team? You're just sick of seeing one another. Right? And then fingers start getting pointed. I would love to be a fly on the wall and hear what those conversations are like when Press Taylor, Doug Pederson, Mike McCoy, and Trevor Lawrence are putting together a game plan. They have not been prepared. Every week they're trailing. Now, they got a touchdown. They were down 7-3. They actually put things together with Mac Jones on that second drive. But I'm talking about the previous 4 games. They were trailing by double digits early in the game, and they were in an absolute coma in the first quarter. That's coaching. That's coaching. That's bad planning. That's bad scripted plays. It's also bad performance by the players. I mean, look at this yesterday. I mean, look at this. 3 targets to your best player, Brian Thomas Jr. 3 targets, 2 receptions, 12 yards. 4 targets to Gabe Davis, 1 reception, 19 yards. So let's add it up. That's 3 receptions, 3 receptions for 31 yards. That is what you got out of your quarterback wide receiver combination in week 10, not week 1 where you're trying to find something out. It's back up. Week 10. 7 targets, and 1 was a throwaway to Brian Thomas Jr. 7 targets to your wide receivers. That is an awful game plan. That is a terrible game plan. Just another example of it. 61-77 below the Miles Jack wasn't down in the waning minutes of the game. Went for it on 4th down. Bottles overthrew a wide open receiver for a TD. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, sure. 7,000. I believe you can't ask us to watch the 2000 AFC Championship game right now. We'll lose half of our listeners. Yeah, no doubt. That's a tough one to look at. But we're really isolated in who we blame and what we blame. The officiating was terrible. Tom Brady even admitted it. You know, this past year, a few months ago, he admitted that Miles Jack wasn't down. Should have been a touchdown. But nonetheless, try to win a game. Jacksonville didn't. 0037 Blue. Yeah, it's time to clean house. Fresh start, new stadium. The comments Doug has been making are freaking crazy. Yeah, they are. They are. He sounds like he's a coach who wants to be fired. You know, his money's guaranteed. He's got to get up early, go in there, and these coaches spend ridiculous amounts of hours. This reputation that Shad Khan has of not wanting to pay guys money for not doing anything needs to end. I mean, Shad bought this franchise for what? $770 million. It's worth what? $4 billion. Eat Doug Pederson's contract. Okay, eat it. I mean, your general manager just throws money out the window. He said, "Come take Roy Robertson Harris. We'll eat $10.3 million in dead money. Come take Cam Robinson, give us a conditional pick in 2026, and we'll pay $7 million. You just threw away $17.3 million there, not to mention another $525,000 for Deshaun Gibson, who did nothing but eat and go to the bathroom here. That's $18 million. I mean, Trent Baalke's just throwing away millions. Eat the contract shot. You have to. Your fan base is furious. And I don't even read the ones who say, that's it, I'm out, I'm gone, because I don't believe you. I don't. You come back, winning will make you come back. But it is a little embarrassing to see all this, purple everywhere. It's not like Sam Darnold was Fran Tarkington. I mean, I have no idea that Minnesota traveled that well. Do they not travel well? It's just that on the secondary underground ticket websites where they just basically handing away these tickets, and they're like, hey, honey, round up the kids. We're going to Jacksonville. I don't know. I expected it with the Packers because that's a phenomenal fan base. I didn't expect it coming from Minneapolis, St. Paul. I mean, honestly, in your travels, no matter where you go, do you see Minnesota Vikings fans? I don't.
No.
I was shocked by yesterday's.
Mike Florio's the only one. I know.
I mean, with Pittsburgh, okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right, with a winning Dallas team, okay. Green Bay, okay. If the Bears came into town, okay. Kansas City wins a Super Bowl every year, okay. When the Patriots are winning Super Bowls every year, okay. But Minnesota? Buffalo, okay. I was shocked by yesterday's crowd. 95-27, they better not let Trevor play this week concerning the quote-unquote season-ending surgery. Well, today that was kind of diminished. No talk of a surgery, Doug Pederson said at this particular point. And I will add, when it gets to something as significant as this, you don't have to tell the truth, even if you're asked the question. I hope there is no surgery for Trevor Lawrence, because that would be the same labrum injury that he had coming out of Clemson. That would mean 2 surgeries on his non-throwing shoulder in 4 years. And to me, that is a problem. That sounds like a guy who is injury prone. And so much can happen, especially when you have an offensive line like Jacksonville does have. And I thought they actually played well yesterday. I thought the biggest problem with the offensive line yesterday in pass protection was honestly more of the blitz pickup. It was a bad afternoon for Travis Etienne, Dearness Johnson. They did not do what was expected. I thought Walker Little, I see Walker Little didn't allow a pressure. I would disagree with that. I thought that last interception that Mac Jones threw, I thought there was quite a bit of heat coming from the right defensive end position. But I thought Walker Little played a fairly effective game. Anton Harrison, a fairly effective game over at right tackle. I have no faith right now in the interior offensive. I think Mitch Morse had his worst game yesterday as a pro. here in town. Blake Hance, I'm not going to waste airtime on Blake Hance. And come on, it's over. It's over for Brandon Sheriff. He's a wounded warrior out there. He's giving it all, but he's done. And they couldn't even get anything for him in the trade. He's done. Right? I mean, you couldn't run, and you were beaten up. But when you have a non-throwing injury to your shoulder, your non-throwing shoulder, what's the first thing that you would expect Trevor Lawrence to do now as far as his habits if he thinks he's going to get hit again on that non-throwing shoulder? I'm not going to forecast happy feet. I'm not going to forecast leaving the pocket too soon. I'm not going to forecast being a little bit more hesitant than you normally are, because your concern is, oh boy, am I going to get hit again? Just because it's his non-throwing shoulder doesn't mean it's not painful now. It goes back to the ludicrous comment by Pederson on Friday about carrying in the duffel bag. Anyone who knows anything at all about Trevor Lawrence, I don't believe this conspiracy stuff that he's shutting it down. Even though Prisco said, shut it down, they're killing him. I still think Trevor's a gamer. If he could play, he would play. This isn't a Jalen Ramsey situation. I think if Trevor can play, even though they're a 12.5-point underdog to Detroit, he's going to play. I don't think Trevor's thinking, I'm going to go from 22 to 39 as a starter as opposed to 22 and 38 as a starter. I think I'll sit this one out. I don't think he thinks that way. But I'm concerned about this injury to his shoulder, whether there's surgery needed or not. Because what if those habits start to kick in? And that's human nature, right? If you think you're going to get hit there again. Man, if it is, and I hope he's getting opinions and second opinions, if he needs surgery, he needs to have surgery now. I mean, crying out loud, man. I mean, wouldn't it be I hate to do this to you. I do. I hate to do it to you. Don't let me do it, JJ. Don't let me do it. But wouldn't it be so like this organization? I mean, actually, it's perfect. To kind of ride this thing out, play, not play, whatever, and then you find out
he needs surgery.
He's going to have surgery in January. I mean, isn't that just that is perfect
with
Jaguars football?
You know, a new coach coming in.
But that is
he won't be ready for OTAs.
Of course, that's the way this organization is going to be, right? And again, if Trent Baalke or Doug Pederson says, hey, man, you got a bum shoulder, you need to go under the knife this week, why would he listen to either one of those two guys? He may be thinking those two guys aren't even here. Now, those guys also, because they're trying to save their job,
want him to play.
Take the needle, man. Let's rub an aspirin on it. Get out there. We need you. We need to win this game. So I don't think either one of those two are like recommending surgery. But do you understand the conflict here? But yeah, that would be perfect Jaguars organization. Kind of fool around for the next 8 weeks and then announce that Trevor Lawrence is going to have surgery on his non-throwing shoulder in mid-January. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, much more to come with you tonight till 8.
There's no better place than the United States of America.
American made and proud of it. 1010XL.
With the stars and the stripes of America.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Loving is everything.
Don't
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey 1010XL family, Dr. Chris Cott PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Are aches and pains holding you back from doing activities you love? Pickleball, golf, or just day-to-day living? Are your kids struggling with injuries and need to get back in the game? My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations, Ponte Vedra, San Pablo, and Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call today at 904-996-6922, 904-996-6922, PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. There's nothing like the ambiance of a custom-built fireplace. The team at CSS can design and install the perfect setup, including wood, gas, and electric models, whether you want the elegance of an indoor fireplace or the warmth of an outdoor fire pit. You dream it, they build it. Visit their showroom or online at cssfireplaces.com.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 11, 1987, MLB pitching legend Boston Red Sox starter Roger Clemens wins back-to-back American League Cy Young Awards.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Mia here for MyBookie. Hope everyone had a profitable betting weekend. Monday Night Football tonight, and hope you followed us for last week's play because Cade Otton hit that touchdown bet. Tonight, the Miami Dolphins travel to the Los Angeles Rams, where it's basically a pick'em game. The Rams look to be favored by 1 point in a high-scoring affair at 50 points over-under total. Tyreek Hill due for a monster game now that Tua's back. Here's tonight's play. Right now at MyBookie, you can get a same-game parlay, Tyreek over 5.5 catches and over 77.5 receiving yards. That, my friends, pays $244 on a $100 bet. If this game turns into a shootout, Tyreek can do that in his sleep. Guys, MyBookie has the best sign-up bonus in the industry for Florida bettors. Our listeners can sign up using promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your first deposit up to $1,000. Promo code 1010XL to claim your double deposit bonus for Monday Night Football. Bet anywhere, anytime, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie.
It's a sale so big, it's been over 40 years in the making.
It's Beard's Diamond's incredible 44th anniversary sale. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 44% off.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Jeff Lagerman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
Atlantic Self Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving, they can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You're a rich girl, and you're gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, I'm taking off on Thursday, going to see Daryl Hall. Not really sure why, but I am. My last experience with Hall & Oates was spring break, I think March of 87 maybe, 88, 89, I don't know. Daytona Beach, free concert, and I thought they kind of mailed it in. I might have been under the influence, but anyway, the restraining order is out, which is hilarious, by the way. Oates on Hall, but anyway, looking forward to getting to the St. Aug amp.
I'm looking at the set
coming
list
up on Thursday night.
It looks legit.
Does he play like 12 songs? So he plays like an hour.
17.
All right, that's not bad. Give me the set list.
So obviously we got,
Sarah
The Whole
Smile.
World's Better, Dreamtime, Foolish Pride. I guess those are his songs.
Yeah.
But then Kiss on My List.
Sounds
Private
like
Eyes.
go to get a Miller Lite during those songs.
Like honestly go a little late. Rich Girl 6, and then he's got 3 more of his songs. And then Every Time You Go Away, Sarah Smile. I Can't Go For That.
Every Time You Go Away, is that the Paul Young?
It's just says
Every
Daryl
time
Hall and
you
John
go.
Oates.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it was Paul Young who said that.
And then the encore is One on One. What Is Love? Bad Luck.
One on One, man.
Can't Say No to You. And then You Make My Dreams.
Can you think of all the people in St. Augustine who are going to get lucky during One on One?
I don't know if I know.
You don't play One on One. Let's play some of the. Oh my God! It's like back of the station wagon. Forget about the Jaguars, man. Give me Hall & Oates.
Oh, the music video is very.
One on One. How does the chorus go? Play that. Yeah. There we go. There's going to be a lot of babies in about 9 months after Thursday night. Here we go. Here's the encore. Or the chorus. Yeah, I'll be there Thursday night. I'm drinking ice cold Miller Lights. So come on by and say hello.
I don't know if the people at the Daryl Hall concert are still making babies, but I get your point.
The GF is a DD.
I wish I had one of those.
A GF? You got a what?
No, a DD.
Oh, a designated driver. Oh. There you go.
Trying to get me in trouble.
4552 says, Ballou, back-to-back winning seasons has only happened 3 times. 3 different coaches in 30 years. Doug is one of them. No doubt. He's also 3-13 in his last 16. And what have you done for me lately, right?
And both the winning seasons were 9-8, right?
Well,
come on.
Right?
Like any other season, they wouldn't have even had a chance to get to 9-8 because they had added one more game. I get it. It's winning seasons, but who cares about that? That's like the most average you could possibly be.
4042. Doug Pederson is going to be Florida State's next offensive coordinator. Tell you what, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Oh, my God. That would be an awesome hire.
Just let him call plays. That's the problem here.
Right.
Why isn't Doug calling plays? You have Press Taylor calling plays.
He'd bring Press with him to Florida State.
I mean, I'd have no problem with Mike Norvell overseeing Florida State and Doug Pederson being the offense coordinator. None. I think Doug Peterson's a good play caller. Why aren't we seeing it? That's and you know, at the end of the Marone regime, it was what it was, and the Urban thing was filled with a bunch of controversy, which for the most part has really been buried. Right? The two things that I still want knowledge on are buried. We don't know if he kicked. Was it
McManus?
No. The Lambeau.
Oh, Lambeau.
Yeah,
that was the other kicker story.
Yeah. We don't know if he kicked him or not. And the other part of it, obviously, with Urban is we don't know what happened with the money. The fact that Urban hasn't said anything kind of leads me to believe that the lawyers have tied all this up. But I think there's some sort of settlement, and probably in that settlement, it's crystal clear that you're not allowed to talk about it. Okay? That's really all that we wanted. When this thing ends, I want leakage. I want to know, and I've heard it all. But I want clarification on what happened. When did this thing begin to get ripped apart? And why? Because on the outside looking in, it just seems so incredibly fixable. Smart men in the room at the same time. Fix this. And they never were able to.
Doesn't it seem like it was this season, like when it all just crumbled? Like I didn't get any bad vibes in the offseason about beef between the quarterback and coach. And, you know, it was always he was upset that people were upset that, you know, they were asking him about Press Taylor calling plays. But besides that, I didn't get any sort of vibes that, like, things were going to quickly disintegrate until maybe a month or so ago.
And Doug brought all this on by himself because he was the one who announced that Press had been calling the plays during the second half of the season prior to that. It never would have gotten out if he didn't say so. I think, you know, I don't want to speak for the local media as a whole, but I'm under the impression that the assumption would have remained that Doug Pederson is calling plays and that question never would have been asked because we just would have assumed that even with the downtrodden offensive numbers that he was still responsible for it. So he created this monster. And, you know, the rest is on him. All right, let's take our final break of the night. Hacker Nation, or half a hacker, I should say. The guy's down to almost 200 pounds, crying out loud. Looks outstanding. Hacker Nation at 8 o'clock.
Here we come. The best defense is a superior fence. Superior Fence and Rail highlights the defensive player of the game. On 1010XL, Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
The Young Guns wanted to make their presence felt early against the Vikings, and they'd get off to a great start in front of the home crowd. Thanks to a 9-play sequence capped off by a Mac Jones 1-yard touchdown, Jacksonville would take an early 7-3 lead with 3:44 left in the first quarter. The 70-yard drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey, John, I think everyone in Jacksonville is ready to elevate their ride.
Absolutely. At Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, we have stunning 2024 Escalades and Lyrics in stock right now.
And the great news is you can get a $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Don't wait for the 2025 models to come in.
Luxury is just a visit away. Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Not available with some other offers. Must take retail delivery by 10/31/24 plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Picking here with a message from Zero Res. You gotta just love this time of the year as we reflect on the things that matter most. Families, homes, the holidays, and of course football. They're very grateful for you all, the good people of Jacksonville, and they want to thank you. So get ready for the holidays. Book today and Zero Res will clean your carpets for only $49 a room. Plus, they'll give you 25% off your tile cleaning. This one fills up fast, so book now on both carpet and tile. Zero Res, fill it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean. Go!
Family, football, and Friday night traditions connect the past with the present.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights.
With Hacker and Andrew Gibson, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Is an injury keeping you on the sidelines? Whether it's your shoulder, neck, back, knee, wrist, or ankle, don't let pain hold you back any longer. At Injury Care Centers, they offer the same high-tech treatments trusted by the pros to supercharge your recovery without surgery. The road to recovery starts the moment you pick up the phone. 904-783-0008. That's 904-783-0008. Injury care starts at Injury Care Centers.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Logan Cook gave a steamy performance on Sunday against the Vikings. The Jacksonville punter had 5 punts for 274 yards, with his longest punt going for 68 yards. Cook sliced and diced the opposition on his way to a spectacular showing, and he's your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners, do you need bathroom partitions and accessories? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they can stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. Coyle & Sons will design it for you. Call them today at 904-356-4821 or visit them at coiljacks.com.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay, the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay, things people love.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, I'll keep things cool in Duval. The Jaguars played another game. The Jaguars had another loss. They are 3-13 in their last 16 and cannot get out of their own way.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Have it cool in this room, though.
About to say, you keep it cool in this room on a nightly basis. I know I'm alive when I walk into this room after Rick Ballou leaves.
Well, as I say, my show is so freaking boring that I would fall asleep during it if I didn't have it down to about 70 degrees.
Well, the good thing is I don't have that extra 110 pounds of warmth that I used to have.
Does it make a difference when you get hot and cold, though?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah?
I get so much colder now than
Do
I
you
would.
really?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, you can ask Denmark, back in the day. That's what I'm surprised because you're not exactly out of shape. But when I was out of shape, I would have it 70 or 71 in here. I'm a 73, 74 guy now, easy.
I love to sleep with it cold, but I just when I come in here, I just need it frigid.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I get so amped up, but it's just the way that things work for me. And
well, plenty of reason
look
to.
Look at JJ in there with a hooded sweatshirt and all that stuff.
Well, JJ.
Mike Norvell wouldn't recruit him. He's wearing a hood.
Well, 7-22 combined for Florida, Florida State, and the Jaguars as football hell continues in North Florida.
Yeah, it was a rough week. No doubt about it. I think 1 week from today is it for Pederson. I think he gets fired a week from today.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on it. I've heard, differing of opinions. I was actually talking to somebody here in town today that thinks Balky might get it before Pederson, which is interesting. And again, I don't necessarily believe that, but I like the differing of opinion. I've also heard, I was talking to another person that thinks they're both going to get it on Black Monday. So there's all sorts of rumors and speculation out there. Look, it's the NFL. Anything can happen, but Detroit's going to kill them on Sunday. I mean, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing to me, too, is Shad's, fortune made in the automobile industry. Where are they going to be? They're going to be in Detroit.
Right.
Obviously, acquaintances of Shad will be up there. Representatives will be up there. Flexgate, the whole 9 yards. If it's embarrassing for the Jaguars and it's embarrassing in front of all those big wigs that Shad knows, and will that add any extra oomph to do it the Monday after Detroit?
Well, Shad fired Gus, and we were all waiting. And we're like, what's going on? And he fired him, and then Gus got back on the plane and walked around and said goodbye to everyone on the way back from Houston. Yeah. So I don't think he'd make that same mistake twice. I think he understands now that if you fire him, you wait till you land back here. And you fire him in Jacksonville. That's why I think it comes down late Sunday night, or if not Monday morning, we hear. But we also know that Shad does not like to fire guys that he's still paying money to. So you keep him around for another 6 weeks.
And Shad's a very loyal guy. Very loyal. Almost to a fault. In fact, it probably is a fault. I don't know if loyalty can be a fault, but if it is in this instance, Dave Caldwell got 8 years here. All right, that's all you really need to know. Dave Caldwell got 3 contracts to be the general manager of this football team, which is just crazy to me. I mean, Gus Bradley got 4 years. Doug Marrone probably got another year that he shouldn't have gotten. So has Shad learned from that and maybe pull the plug a little quicker this time?
We'll see. By the way, I got with Dave Caldwell. He was on my flight back to Philly a week ago because he works with the Philadelphia Eagles now.
He does. Another NFL team actually employs him, which is pretty wild to think about that.
I always liked Dave. I mean, Dave,
I always say the prerequisite about Dave Caldwell is he's a nice guy. He's a great dude. Yeah. And after we're contractually obligated to say that, he was a horrific general manager.
Didn't work out well for him.
Oh, he was awful at his job. Yeah. Gene Smith was awful. Nice guy. Heck of a nice dude. Gene Smith was terrible, too. Shaq Harris was bad. And now Trent Baalke's bad. The Jaguars haven't had a good general manager in 2 decades.
Well, and that's going to be a huge part of all this. We have an idea of who we think the coach should be. Guessing who the next who really has who's put in the road work and really knows what goes on behind the scenes coming up as a scout and being involved in college only and then pro personnel, whatever the effort is or this is a hard job. Setting up your free agency, setting up the NFL draft to have a 53-man roster. It is and it is not all. Your choices are typically fired general managers or up-and-coming guys who have never done it before.
I know we got to go quick here. If not Ben Johnson, then who? I mean, he's number one for everybody. But and by the way, we'll get up close and personal with Ben Johnson this week because that's who the Jaguars are playing, right, in Detroit. But if it's not Ben Johnson, who do you want?
Like a guy like John Dorsey? I don't know.
No, I'm talking about from a head coach perspective.
Oh, I thought you talked. I think you got to look at Joe Brady. I think you got to look at Slowick. I think you have to feel out Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick. I'd rather go offensive coaches for the obvious reason. Your most important piece is Trevor. But I think those are the five.
I'll give you two. Lincoln Riley and Cliff Kingsbury. I think would also be interesting names that would be out there.
I'm okay with either one of the two. They've won with talented players.
I think Lincoln Riley wants to go to greener pastures outside of LA.
And I'm sure Dabo Swinney's going to come up too.
Yeah, maybe. And the thing with Kingsbury is he did not work out in Arizona. He's worked wonders now for Washington, and I'm willing to give a guy like that another shot. So those are names that I would have out there as well.
Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it. We'll talk to you tomorrow night, 6 to 8. Tuesday. One night closer to Darrell Hall, St. Augam. That's going to do it. Hey, I appreciate all the effort tonight from you on our text line. Didn't have an opportunity to get to all of you. I tried to, but we are just getting so many. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, we're going to take calls. 7 o'clock hour. So look forward to that already. Have a good one. For JJ LaSalva, I'm Rick Ballou. We'll talk at 6 on Tuesday.